Hey guys, Professor Ramey here. First off, hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving holiday and got to, see your friends, family, loved ones, whatever it might be, or if you spent it by yourself, hope you had a great time on that. But I want to make a quick video to let y'all know what's going on in the class because there seems to be a lot of confusion. Now, I fully admit some of that is my fault in this. So I'm just going to go down from the top and explain everything that's going to go on from here to the end of class and clear up any problems there might be. And we'll start with the biggest message of concern according to the discussion board, and that is the essay quizzes. I have no idea. What happened is I finally got access to the online portion of the book that is going to be used for the textbook quizzes, and when I uploaded that, it sent the recommended list of quizzes, except they're not recommendations. They are actually, it just posts them into the class. I cannot remove them. But it doesn't matter because I don't put them under the content. The only thing that's required for you in the class, there's no assignment to that, it just says there's quizzes. The only thing that you have to do is what's under the content folder, and that's where I'm going to post all the quizzes. So it pops up and shows that you have 65 quizzes to do. Relax on that. There you do not. I will work with VATS, that's the IT department for Desire to Learn, to see how to remove those. I think I'm going to have to manually click and erase each and every one. That's the only way I've actually erased one of them, and it took about 10 minutes. I'm happy to do that, just fiddle around with it here and there. In the meantime, just ignore those. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry for any confusion. And honestly, that's the whole point of making this video, because there seems to be quite a bit of confusion in the class. And I mean, I'm here for you, and I want you to do very well. And I think I made a mistake at the beginning of this class. This is the first time I've taught an 8-week online class. I'm much more used to 12 and 16 weeks. And in those classes, it's much easier to filter information along slowly, so that way it's not a huge burden right at the beginning or right at the end, where the workload seems easy enough but constant enough to keep the students engaged. That seems to be a mistake in this class, and it's something I'll learn from. And I do apologize if this has caused you any confusion. And to make up for that, in the last 3 weeks of this class, we'll make a very simple change. I'm just going to open up the entire class. Every single thing that's due, I'm going to open up, and the due dates, I'm going to no longer have a short-term due date. I'm going to move the due dates largely towards the last week of the class for everything, right? That includes your reading quizzes, it includes your essays, and includes everything except for the first exam, which will be this weekend, right? Everything else will just be done on the last week. Not necessarily the last day, just because of the grade load that would required there, and just in case somebody has a computer malfunction on the last day of class, something like that. But along that, so on the last week of this class, which is the week, this class ends on that Saturday, which I believe is the 17th? Perhaps Sunday the 18th on that. I'm not sure when the Desire to Learn shuts it down, but pretty much that Saturday or Sunday, that's where pretty much your remaining quizzes will be due, right? Between Friday and that Sunday, your remaining essays, the monograph essay, and the final exam. I believe that's a fair solution towards the end of this class. I'll still be posting on the discussion. I have to make up my mind what I'm going to do about the discussion, because as it is, we have several members that are very actively discussing, right? And I do appreciate Julie and Amy, and if I'm not mentioning your name, Ton, I know you've been in there. That's a great job. Please keep that up. I am going to work out what to do with the discussion. I might just, for the sake of it, just for this class alone, just boost up the discussion score. Forget about it. Just 3 points on that. And this is the whole reason why I do not like opening up the class at the very to the very end and go at your own pace, just finish by the end, is because it does stifle discussion. Fair enough. It's 8 weeks. We all have things to do. Y'all are obviously very busy with other classes and your work, and maybe we push discussion to the side for this class. I'm fine to do that. I'll still open up those discussion boards if you have questions about the assignments, if you want to discuss ideas with the essays, et cetera, et cetera. I'll just have to figure out, and I'll let you know within the next 2 days what I'm going to do about that grade. I think the most likely thing is I'm just going to make, basically, if you at least introduced yourself, fine, good enough for the discussion points. We'll just go from there. As for your essays and research papers, you should have those grades in the next 2 days. I've graded most of them. I will not release them until they're all graded. Y'all did very well. So if you're worried about that, really the research papers, I got some very fascinating ones. I got a couple of presentations. I'm probably going to release those, but once again with the discussion and all that, who knows the effectiveness of that, but very well done. The essays, I have a few comments on those individually, but very good as well. So the scores in this class are very high right now. Your quizzes you're doing very well on as well. So if you're panicked, you're a little bit freaked out about the state of the class, perhaps a bit understandable in the sense when all of a sudden all these quizzes pop up, you see there's all this coursework according to the syllabus by the end of the class, you see so few points. It'll all take care of itself. The plan was still there. It was still going to take care of itself. But with all the unique schedules, I figured this is the best way. Just open it up, let you finish on your own pace. If you want to finish, therefore, everything except for the final exam in the next, week and a half of the class, fantastic. If you want to kind of just wait and relax a little bit and kind of just do it piecemeal and wait till the last minute, or if you want to be a big procrastinator and wait till the last day of class and stay up for 24 hours trying to complete the class, don't be that guy. Other things, the monograph essay, yes. I haven't posted anything about the monograph essay, quite honestly, because I mentioned in the beginning of the class to buy the book and start reading it. After that, I figured, you're going to go at your own pace and you've been reading it. Since I'm going to post everything at the end of the class, I'll post the monograph instructions today on what I'm looking for. I'll briefly describe that now, just so the instructions make a little bit more sense, but what we're looking for here is not a book report. It's not a summary. It is a book analysis. An analysis is a lot different than a summary, but it's a very simple thing to do. What you're trying to do is analyze the author's argument. In other words, what is the author's main point? Why did Erik Larson write this book, The Devil in the White City? What was he trying to convey? What was he trying to argue? And then you ask yourself, okay, that's his argument. You come up to that. That's what he's trying to say. How well did he say it? Did he convince you? Did he prove his argument? Yes or no, maybe, depends, right? That's where you put in your own personal analysis of how well Erik Larson accomplished his goal. And then you go down and break down individually how he proved this, right? What sources were used, were these sources adequate, et cetera, et cetera. It's actually not that long of an assignment once you read the book. If you've read through the book, you should be able to go through this pretty quickly just by going back through and giving specific examples, et cetera, right? The paper shouldn't take too long to write. There's no necessary minimum or maximum amount of pages on the monograph essay. I have 7 questions that I want you to answer, and as long as you answer those questions fully, you're probably going to be just at the right place. I don't want you to get bogged down thinking, how many pages do I have to write? Because you know what happens when I say write 4 pages, right? Is what you get is a bunch of essays of students struggling to get to 4 pages. You get to 4 pages, like, boom, I'm done. I don't want you to go in with that attitude. I want you to fully answer the questions. When you get to the end of it, be satisfied with the work you turn in, right? Turn it in, boom, done. And that will be due on the last day of class as well, where it was always intended to be due. But I will post that if you want to get started, or if you want to use the questions while you're reading the book, no problem. And lastly, emails. I've read in the discussion board that I've seen a lot of students say they've been emailing me and they have not been able to get a hold of me. I check through my email every day, although this last weekend, if you emailed me on Saturday, I answered back to those today on that. I don't know what's happening there. My email, Desire to Learn, goes straight to my Lone Star email. There should be no problem in me getting your emails, but apparently I'm not. I don't know if that's because you're emailing from a private email that Lone Star is blocking, or if Desire to Learn is doing something. I don't know. If you are having trouble contacting me for whatever reason, send me a text to my phone number, okay? It's posted on the syllabus. I'd rather not put it out on YouTube there, but you can look at the syllabus, and so if you're panicking or saying, oh my gosh, Professor Ramey is not answering my emails, what do we do here? Send me a quick text, right? And I'll explain everything. Because what I don't want to happen in this class, because I've never had this happen in an online class, and I feel it verging on the edge of that, is where the class just kind of falls apart, right? Where everybody kind of panics on that because you think that you're not doing enough in the class, and you see everything at the end, you're like, how am I going to do all this? I think I've addressed that by just opening the rest of the class up. Maybe that's something I should have done at the beginning. my mistake, and I do apologize. There's still plenty of time to finish the class. There's basically only 2 more essays to write, the monograph and 2 exams with some Greek quizzes. Plenty of things to do in 3 weeks, right? And since I put it all at the end, you can work at your own pace, submit when you want, etc. On that. So if you are confused, if you are panicked, hopefully this puts you at a little bit of ease. If you're just strolling along and saying, well, I know he's not going to grade anything that he doesn't put up in the content, so I'm fine. Well, you're still fine. Everything is okay. So hopefully this video calms any problems right there, and look forward to tonight. I'm going to stay up here on campus and try to flesh out everything else, try to get the due dates. I'm definitely going to at least have the reading quizzes and the essays up, along with any videos covering the essay topics. The next video that will come up on the essay topic will be about this question of Americanization, which will involve our next essay about Americanization during World War I. Then the final essay that is outside the textbook essay, right, will be about World War II and the Cold War. I will probably have that up sometime tonight or tomorrow, or around noon, and then all the reading quizzes will be up tonight as well as the monograph. The first exam, I'm going to post a separate video with an exam review, and if there is any want for this, this class doesn't discuss a whole lot on the discussion board, which is fine. I've had classes like that before, but if there's want for this going into the first exam, after I post the exam review, I figure I could open up some kind of web chat where you can ask me questions, because I'm going to put up a little exam review on Brightspace. And, you know, if you have questions about that, we can have a little web chat and you can talk to me about that if there's interest there. So please do me a favor. If you are interested in that, inside the next 48 hours after watching this video, please post on the discussion board, say, Professor Ramey, I am interested in this, or Professor Ramey, I am not interested in this at all. I just want to, you know, give me the exam review and do it. If you would do that for me, that'd be great, because what I can't do is just individually send out emails. Hope you get back to me in time for me to do that. And then, because we're going to have to figure out the correct time to have a web chat, what works with everybody's schedule. Anyways, hope you all had a fantastic Thanksgiving holiday, and I hope everything is going well in your lives. And let me know if there's any problems, concerns. Once again, if there's something immediate, dire, pressing, please just text me if you're having trouble getting hold of my email.